Hello guys, this is Igor MGTOW in video games, and this is another live stream. This is about MGTOW in the Balkans. I haven't done them for a long time, but now I'm doing it because I have decided to talk about MGTOW and the Balkans, especially because MGTOW in the Balkans, the strategies to make MGTOW bigger in the Balkans is going to be a bit different. Oh, hello, name withheld. You are the first person on it. So basically, MGTOW in the Balkans will be just a bit different when it comes to inviting new men in MGTOW, but it won't be very different. So if you are talking about MGTOW.tv, no, MGTOW, then it's cancelled. Its replacement is MGTOW.tv. The replacement for MGTOW will be MGTOW.tv. Oh, the replacement for MGTOW is MGTOW.tv and it's cancelled. So before trying to talk about how to expand MGTOW in the Balkans, we need to talk about Balkans itself. So the Balkans is a peninsula with tons of ethnic groups, divided countries, which some countries claim they have different languages, but in reality, it's very similar. So there are 6 to 7 ex-Yugoslav countries. Then we have other countries in the Balkans, such as Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, and Albania. And the 7th one, which isn't a good idea talking about because some people claim it's not even a country, so we're just going to ignore it. So we have to consider finding ways to expand MGTOWs and translating MGTOW into the local languages of the Balkan Peninsula. And there are some languages, but I don't think there is that much languages, because Croatian, Serbian, Bosnian, and Montenegrin are so similar that linguists say it's basically one language. So let's call this, but in order not to offend anyone, we'll just say it's Croatian, Serbian, Bosnian, and Montenegrin because of that. So we have those languages. Then we have the different Slavic languages of Slovenian, Macedonian, and Bulgarian. These are Slavic languages, and some other Balkan languages are not even Slavic, like Romanian. They are a Romance language based on Vulgar Latin, which is the ancestor of all Romance languages. So, and Greek is a Hellenic language, and Albanian is a language isolate. So we basically have to translate MGTOW into all of these languages in hopes to expand. Hello. And another thing we have to consider is how we are going to mention MGTOW, because mentioning the MGTOW by name, even if we want to do it, is not a good idea because of bulldog mindset and all of his POA's followers. So Bulldog Mindset has found a way to use tags and some other YouTube stuff to basically become first place as MGTOW search results. What he does is put a shitload of tags in. So Bulldog Mindset is a POA and we can't really say MGTOW directly. What we are going to do is be a bit closer to that. Maybe like Sandman and mentioning the names of MGTOW channels. I think that's the best bet if you search if you put the names of the channels directly. And that's a good idea on how to search up MGTOW. You don't search MGTOW as a term directly, but just the individual channels. Oh, and you will find Sandman if you search MGTOW, but you have to look really down. So that's that. So we have to find a way to improvise and find a way to break the YouTube blockade, which is basically happening. Now that we've mentioned that, we're going to have to mention about where is the best setting to spread MGTOW. Basically, when it comes to MGTOW, spreading it directly one fell swoop is not a good idea, because if you shovel lots of red pills at them in one fell swoop, they'll reject it. The best idea is basically if the male is in some sort of a breakup, and then when you mention it to them, they're more likely to join MGTOW. And that's exactly what we want. So we have to find the way to spread MGTOW. Project 100,000. YouTube is blockading us. Sure, it's spreading on BitChute and other platforms, but YouTube is still the #1 platform, and we need to find a way to spread MGTOW on the #1 platform so that more men join MGTOW. Not really. Okay, now that we have gotten that out of the way, we also need to pick the best major cities. If you are going to be the ones that put MGTOW friendly signs or flyers about MGTOW and information and channels, then I suggest it's best idea to do it in large cities. Now, the large cities in the Balkans are the following. For Slovenia, the largest cities I've heard is Ljubljana, Maribor, and the other one I hadn't heard about. For Croatia, it's likely going to be a good target to spread MGTOW around Zagreb, Split, Dubrovnik. Okay, just something. Just to see if my estimates are good. This is going to last short. Well, not the stream, just checking. Oh, and Slavonski Brod is also a good place to spread MGTOW in Croatia. Okay, now that we've mentioned that, now Bosnia and Herzegovina, where to spread MGTOW in that country. Most likely I recommend the capital itself, along with Banja Luka, Neum, and other large cities you can research in Wikipedia. So if you're the type of person who wants to spread MGTOW in signs and pamphlets and the general Project Mayhem type of guy, And if you're in the Balkans, you can do that. And I'm just saying the city is recommended. For Serbia, I recommend Belgrade, Novi Sad, Niš, Kragujevac, Kruševo, and others. For Montenegro, the capital itself and other coastal cities. Now for Albania, Tirana and Durrës, and we in Serbia usually say that city like Drač, but the English name is different. Oh, and it doesn't work a lot on a lot of men because they've given themselves to women and given them all control. Well, we will try to spread nonetheless. Okay, so Macedonia is a landlocked country, but we still have chances of spreading MGTOW to them. Now, whether the country is landlocked or not isn't really an issue, but let's just mention the capitals. Let's just mention the cities. Capital is not the only one. So, for Macedonia to spread MGTOW, the best idea is large cities, so let me check a map of Macedonia. Okay, this is going to take a bit. If a woman never texts you, first block her. Well, you shouldn't even let her text you. Okay, so now that we've done that, so come on. Okay, list of cities in North Macedonia where I recommend. Skopje, Bitola, Kumanovo, Prilep, Tetovo. Those are basically the 5 cities in Macedonia where it would be a good idea to spread MGTOW because they're large cities, so more men can see them, and that means more men can join MGTOW. Now, about the 7th Yugoslav country, which some people don't call it a country, I'll let you check for that, and I'm sure you know the name of that country. Now on to Bulgaria. Where to spread MGTOW in Bulgaria? As I've said before, large cities, and I'm going to check again. List of cities in Bulgaria. Okay. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. 3. Okay. We are here. 2 viewers, so we have to act quickly. So Sofia, Plovdiv, Varna, Burgas, Ruse, Stara Zagor, Pleven. Just the general large cities are recommended to spread MGTOW. Why? Because large cities, as I've said before, more men equals more MGTOWs. So the first priority is large cities, then the surrounding towns. So that's that, and I recommend before you put Project Mayhem signs, you will probably have to learn the local not all people in said countries speak English or understand it. The new generation maybe, but the older ones definitely not. Okay. Where was I? A list of cities in Greece. Okay, so that's currently loading. So, as I've said before, Greece is going to be a bit different. For list of city, for where to spread MGTOW and the cities in it, I recommend the capital, large cities, and coastal towns. Basically, I recommend anywhere, any place large if you're the type of man that wants to spread MGTOW in the real world. I call them Project Mayhem guys because generally Project Mayhem is about doing that and something other, and that's how they call themselves. I'm just giving you a list of recommendations. So Athens, Thessaloniki, Patras, Piraeus. Oh, and don't forget the islands. Now that I've mentioned that, I'm going to also mention some other stuff relating to the Balkans. So the Balkans is a peninsula in southeastern Europe. It has many cultures and languages and and its history has been very complicated to say the least. A simple rundown is Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, independent Balkan Slavic states, plus Hungary. Turkey takes over the Byzantine Empire and said Balkan states. Turkey takes over, Ottomans take over Hungary. Then Austria takes over Hungary, and then basically Austria and Ottomans ruled the Balkans until recently, and by recently I mean the 19th century. And World War One and Two is also part of Balkan history, and the breakup of Yugoslavia. Well, the Yugoslav countries right now are friendly, and that makes it easier to spread MGTOW. So that's a good thing. And plus for Bosnia, Croatia, so this is a simple rundown of the Balkans and some info about it. Now let's talk about the coronavirus and the Balkans. The situation about the coronavirus in the Balkans. So basically right now the coronavirus is not interested. Leave, we don't care. Okay, now that is cleared out. The coronavirus in Serbia. So yesterday the schools schools in Serbia were still open and many things were still operating business as usual. But right now, yesterday, the state of emergency was declared in Serbia, and now the entire country is going on lockdown. So that means the most likely the army is going to take over and do law and order, and school is closed down. But they found an interesting solution. They're basically going to move school to some sort of television program. So basically they found a new solution to deal with this, and I'm going to tell you what you should do to prepare for the coronavirus. So basically, in order to stop the spread of coronavirus, you should wash your hands, wear a face mask, and try not to be in contact with people, and try not to sneeze or cough on others, and try to not go outside for much, at minimum for 2 weeks, because the coronavirus incubation period is about 14 days, which is 2 weeks. So that's minimum, and that's what is I recommend you to do. Another thing to mention is that by doing that you are flattening the curve, which means you basically, by flattening the curve, you prevent the overwhelming of hospitals and healthcare services by a country. And by preventing the overwhelming of healthcare facilities, you are basically helping against the coronavirus and preventing unnecessary deaths from viruses and other things and other illnesses. So that's what I recommend you to do. Oh, sports centers in Serbia and many other countries are closed. If you come from China, Italy, or Spain, or other infectious center, I recommend you call the health services of your local countries to basically stop the infection from going even further. Because we MGTOWs should survive, and we need to. Oh, one person is watching. So I think we will survive the coronavirus, and we have a high likelihood of doing so, since it's only like 1 or 2% mortality, and they are now developing a vaccine against coronavirus. So that's an interesting development that they are doing right now. So the pandemic had spread to Balkans, but MGTOW ideals. If you're in the Balkans, then that's a good idea. If you aren't, the best thing you can do is spread MGTOW in your own countries. So I don't think we should cover much, because I've done a basic introduction to MGTOW in the Balkans and what should be done. So closing stream. So I've explained the coronavirus, the Balkans. So I don't think there's much explaining to do. So I've done what is needed. So I'm closing. Anyways, this is Igor MGTOW and video games, and bye bye.